James Duerr Show, sponsored by Realty One Group Emerald, Forefront Property Management on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome to the James Duerr Show, the Swiss Army knife of your financial planning. Many people know how to make money. Everybody knows how to spend it. But do you know how to manage your money? James Duerr has the heart of a teacher and is a mentor to many. Now you can be mentored by James Duerr. Pull up a chair, your paper and pen, and get ready to learn from the teacher himself, James Duerr.
Good morning. This is James Duerr, your host of the James Duerr Show and the 7 Steps to Financial Success. Today we have an excellent program. You can always go to 9:30 a.m. The Answer, listen to us live for the next hour, or go to our Facebook live streaming. Just go to the James Duerr Show and you can catch it on Facebook. Today I have Juliana Lopez with bb&T Bank.
Good morning, James.
Good morning. And today we're going to talk about financial wellness. And bb&T has an amazing program for financial wellness. But before we get into that, tell us a little bit about you and tell us a little bit about the bank.
Sure. So bb&T has been around since 1872.
Okay.
We're founded in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We have over 2,500 branches throughout the country, and we have 10 branches here in San Antonio.
Wow. So how many, did you say how many you have in Texas?
In Texas, we have, I think, about 1,200. We are throughout Dallas, Houston, McAllen, El Paso. We're going down south now as well. So we are expanding quite a bit. Okay.
So basically wherever you are in Texas, bb&T Bank is there.
There's one, not too far from you.
Okay. So you have a financial wellness program. Now, what is the cost on that for a business or individual?
So we offer our services at no cost.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We will go into any business. We go and talk to the decision maker, let them know what kind of presentation we're going to do with their employees. And as an employee benefit, we'll go in and talk about financial wellness and different services that we can offer, whether it's budgeting, credit services, saving your money, et cetera.
Okay. And it's amazing because there's such a high percentage of people only get their financial information from work.
Correct.
And so you go to the workplace and you help them get that information.
Yeah, so studies have shown about 85% of people are financially stressed, which can obviously affect your employees and how they're doing their job.
Right.
And so, we want to go in and help them feel a little bit more comfortable with their finances. And so, we'll go in and we do the presentation in front of the, whole employees, but then we have, of course, sidebar conversations and one-on-ones with each employee. That way we could get, deep down into, what their concerns are and what their particular needs are. Everybody's needs are completely different.
Right. So when you go to a business, they can just go. How does a business contact you to invite you to visit with their employees?
So I'm at the downtown branch. I'm on Commerce and St. Mary's,
okay.
And you can reach me, of course, at the branch directly. We do have, like I said, 10 branches here in San Antonio, and all of the market leaders are trained to do these presentations. So you could reach out to any one of the branches. If you Google BBT, will come up for you. But obviously, I would love for somebody to reach out to me directly. And it's at juliana.lopez at bb&t.com.
Okay, great.
And, of course, I can supply my number here as well.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, so my direct line is 210-248-1599.
Okay, and everything we do is podcast and put it on our website. They can go to the jamesduerr.com website, jamesduerr.com, and they'll be able to review the podcast again and pull your phone number.
Perfect.
So if they didn't get it, or if we'll try to say it a few more times, you can go to the jamesduerr.com website and you can get all this information again. If you want to call in live right now, you can call at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. and ask Juliana any questions you have about BB&T's financial wellness program. But it's so critical that you take time to sit down with a professional, and that's what we always, it's such a great opportunity. Every time I sit down with a client, they receive a benefit from doing one of these financial analysis. We go over the family history, we go over, who the dependents are, their assets, their liabilities, their future planning, their 401ks. But, people don't do that. They don't sit down and take advantage of the resources. Now, we're not fee-based. And so when I refer somebody to a financial service professional, there's no charge. And there's no charge of sitting down BB&T.
Absolutely. There's absolutely no charge to come and meet with me. And you don't have to be a business owner. You don't have to even be an employee of a business.
Right.
I'm happy to speak with anybody at any age. Everybody has different needs. So obviously my services are open to everybody.
Okay. So how soon, how early, you're talking about age, should you talk to people about saving, about finances?
Yeah, we do go into different school districts, and we talk with children,
Okay.
Elementary and middle school, talk to them about saving money, what their future might look like, college, and can your parents pay for that? Just because your parent has a credit card or a checkbook doesn't mean that there's a ton of money in the bank. So just
Right.
getting them to understand the importance of, financial wellness.
Okay. Well, I mean, and that begins early in life. And I'm just so excited when I learned about BB&T's financial wellness program, because that's what I'm preaching all the time, is sit down with the professional and plan. If you don't plan, luck is a lot of luck is planning.
Yeah.
So you say, well, this guy has luck, or she has luck, he has luck. But a lot of times they have luck because they planned. So if you don't sit down with a financial professional, and we at James Duerr Show, we can refer you to people for that, and they can go to BB&T for that also. And if you don't sit down and plan, then time can be your friend or time can be your enemy. And the sooner you start programs in either as cash value life insurance or your annuity, the sooner you do it, the better. So call today. You can go to the jamesduerr.com website, JAMESDUERR.com, and send me an email, watch our podcast, and you will receive a benefit. And we were talking earlier, we have about 3 minutes before a break, that you're a superhero. And let me tell the listeners how she is a superhero. Because you have, I understand, is it nephews or nieces?
Yeah, I have a niece and nephew that are twins. And my nephew has special needs. And, his sister, even now that they're 14, is constantly trying to care for him. My mother also has a brother who has special needs, and she's been caring for him for years.
Yeah. So what have you done to help your family?
I ended up getting a large life insurance on myself for the children. I'm working on a special needs trust because I know that my niece will be taking care of her brother for the rest of her life.
Right. So
And
you are a hero.
I want them to be financially secure.
Yeah. And is it a term policy? Is it a whole life policy? What
It
type
is.
of policy?
It is a term policy.
Okay.
Right now, and lucky enough, I was able to get approved for it.
Okay.
So it's a comfort to me knowing that they're both going to be well taken care of.
And you made a comment. You were lucky enough to be approved, because that's the thing about life insurance, such a great product, and it can take care of your families. We don't want to have no barbecue fundraisers. We don't want to have GoFundMe sites, because that's not going to pay for the special needs person for the rest of their life.
Right.
You have to take steps now, whether a term insurance that you can also convert to a cash value life insurance, that and So you are a hero, Julianne, and I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you for saying that.
We need to have more people like yourself that thinks about other people and how you can take advantage of this incredible financial instrument, which is term insurance or cash value life insurance that can not only take care of your needs, but your family's needs.
Yeah.
So we have a couple more seconds. You want to go ahead and give your phone number again?
Yes.
Or your,
Yes, you can reach me at 210-248-1599 is my direct number. And then I'm, again, downtown. We do have free parking.
Okay.
So
Oh, wow. That's great for downtown
we're
San
right
Antonio.
off of Commerce, across the street from the Duerr Hotel.
Okay, great. So again, this is James Duerr, James Duerr Show. Please go to our Facebook page and like us. It's the James Duerr Show. And you can go to our website at JAMESDUERR.com. And we'll talk to you right after the break.
Looking for your new home? Realty One Group Emerald is your one stop. We are the ones to get you out of your old house and into the new one. Our experienced local real estate agents will simplify the entire process of buying and selling your home. Find your home today at Realty One Group at ROGEmerald.com. 210-405-4326.
Welcome back to the James Duerr Show and your 7 steps to financial success. If you've just now joining us, we have Juliana Lopez with bb&T Bank.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. And we've been talking about financial wellness. And it's always been something that I've been very concerned about for businesses. That business needs to understand that if their employees are stressed at work, if they're worried about finances, if they're getting sick and missing work, or if their mind is somewhere else and not focused on business because of finances, that's not good for a business.
Right. They're not as productive.
Right. And you have stats on that too, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
And we'll go over those later on in the program,
Perfect.
so people need to stay tuned on that. But there's hard data, hard science out there that shows that if people are satisfied, if they have that financial wellness at work, they're more productive.
Correct.
So your program is available to individuals, to businesses. Just like the James Duerr Show, we invite people to sit down, have a 1-hour conversation, and that's all we're doing. Just having a conversation, because when you verbalize it, you begin to plan.
Right.
So what is a typical business that you would go into, or do you have any examples of businesses you've helped? And individuals, of course.
Yeah. So, we've been lucky enough to be able to go into quite a number of hotels. We can go in and speak with the entire staff at the hotel. Mm-hmm. We've gone into restaurants, the San Antonio Zoo. So we've gone into a number of businesses, and you realize with the statistics that a lot of those employees live paycheck to paycheck,
right,
and are just not prepared for something like a car breaking down or the AC going out at their house. So we want to help them get to a place where they're prepared for those emergencies.
Right. Well, I was listening to you talking about the restaurants and hotels and the zoo and just the everyday worker. And it's so amazing that bb&T will go into and help these individuals that may not have a financial advisor, or they may have not ever talked to anybody about finances, and you actually come to them and provide
We do.
that. So I actually have a client, lots of clients who've been in the restaurant business, and it doesn't take somebody. They don't have to be the manager. They don't have to be the owner. You can work with the dishwasher. You can work with the waitress, the waiter. I have this amazing individual like yourself who understands the value of life insurance. And not only does he have policies on himself, and he's single, so he has, like you have, hero policies that will provide benefits to his family. Mm-hmm. And eventually he'll probably get married. He's young, so he'll have that in place for his family. But, not only does he have policies on himself, but he brought his mother in to our last meeting and got her long-term care insurance.
Oh, good.
So, so he's taking care of his family, and it's when you do it early in life, it's inexpensive. So what happens with long-term care, if you come in when you're in your 60s, my experience is you get 50% of the people are turned down,
Right.
or it's so expensive they can't afford it. So time can be your friend or time can be your enemy.
Correct.
I keep on saying that. But if you can get long-term care insurance early in life, in your late 30s even, your 40s, especially your 50s,
Right.
before you have take all the medicines you may need to take or have the health issues, it's cheap. It's
Right.
very inexpensive to get long-term care when you get it when you're young and healthy because you buy it with your health, not your money.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing about insurance. You get it when you're young and healthy, and you have a term policy, and that term policy, you're locked in. So that health rating that you got when you got that policy, if you want to convert that to a cash value life insurance policy today, they use that same health criteria.
Right. Even as I get older.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about going back and getting labs and all that. You've already done that. You've done it one time.
Right.
So when you have a large policy, you can take certain chunks out of it. Like I did a $1 million policy a while back. I should exactly 2 years, 10 days ago. And I'll tell my listeners exactly why I'm talking about this later, personal experience. But it does cost more as you wait to convert that to cash value life insurance. I like cash value life insurance for retirement and for paying for college. But once you lock in, you have that policy.
Right.
And term insurance is inexpensive. So you always have that opportunity to convert that from a liability to an asset by doing cash value life insurance, which, by the way, it grows tax-free. You take the money out tax-free, and your beneficiaries get the money tax-free.
Yeah.
In the great state of Texas.
You know
In the great state of Texas, it's creditor protected.
Right. And the cost of it is really minimal, to the comfort that I feel having it.
Right.
So, and again, getting it early, really matters.
So you live what you preach. I mean, you get it early, you have it taken care of, it's inexpensive, and you're taking care of others with that policy. And you have that comfort feeling. So that's why it's so great that bb&T does that financial wellness program, that you go to the business and to these employees that may not have that opportunity to take off time at work and go see a financial service professional.
Right.
And you come to them with the financial wellness program. So how can they contact you for to have you go visit the school district or visit the businesses?
So they can call me directly at 210-248-1599. They can look up bb&T and Google it. I'm at the downtown branch on the corner of Commerce and St. Mary's. So it's very easy to get a hold of me. Again, it's Juliana Lopez.
Okay.
And so I'm happy to talk to you at any time. If I'm not available when you call, please leave a message. I will get right back to you.
Okay. Well, and you were mentioning before about an example that you had somebody who wanted to get a mortgage, but their credit wasn't that great. How do you help somebody who doesn't have good credit and they want to eventually get a mortgage?
So we also assist with credit services, with bringing up their credit score, quick ways and things that they can do to get that credit score up, pulling free copies of their credit reports and their credit scores. There's some quick things that you can do.
You have some examples of that?
Yeah, so just the utilization of, say, credit cards, for instance, that's about 35% of that credit score factor. So you never want to have a credit card maxed out.
Okay.
You always want to keep that credit card below 50%. So if the credit limit is $5,000, you want less than $2,500 balance on that account.
Okay.
So obviously, if you're using the card and paying it off every month, that raises your credit score quite a bit faster. But if you've maxed out all of your cards and they're all sitting, with high balances, that really, really brings down your score, even if you pay them on time.
All right. Oh, wow. Okay.
So you need to bring those balances down.
Yeah. And my opinion is you need to pay it off every month. And if you have balances, then it'd be probably better to visit with the bank to consolidate a loan and have something that's more manageable. And once you can get to the point of you have credit cards you can pay off every month, then you do it. But like last show, I cut up a credit card, and I tried to tape it back together. It wouldn't work. But it is important to the nice thing about credit cards is, there's other people out there that preach against it. I mean, they're great. I mean, I just, you can get points on there. You can. I mean, I just got 2 free plane tickets to Vietnam.
Yeah, cash
And
back,
that's a
travel
lot of money.
rewards.
Yeah.
And we do assist with that as well. People that maybe don't have credit or have bad credit now, we even offer secured cards that we can help them
To help 'em get
establish
the credit.
Yeah. We do also do debt consolidation at bb&T. A lot of banks are not doing that anymore, which is basically a signature loan, an unsecured loan to pay off that debt.
Wow, that's amazing.
0% interest credit cards for 15 months, which, balance transfers. So there's a number of different ways, and everybody's needs are completely different. But there's a number of different ways to assist with that credit score.
And that's the reason why our listeners need to take one short hour and call bb&T or call the James Duerr Show and set up an appointment.
Yeah.
And because there's all these things out there that you know about that can help our listeners the listeners may not know about. And also, if they're going on the internet and searching and all that, you don't know what you're getting. So you want to talk to an individual. I always, there's companies out there that do, robo financial advice. Financial advice is so difficult, really, and you really need to have a professional that meets with you. You need to meet, one-on-one. And it's a lot of people out there may have I know your insurance agent, but a lot of people have gotten policies and they haven't talked to their insurance agent in years, and that can be a huge problem.
Things change.
And I'll tell you, you can lose a tremendous amount of money if you don't do it right, and you can lose out on opportunities. So if you have a policy and you haven't met with your agent in a while, call the James Duerr Show. Go to jamesduerr.com, JAMESDUERR.com. And if you're an orphan and you don't have an insurance agent, you call us. And there's no, just like your financial wellness program,
right?
There's no charge
Absolutely.
for us to sit down and go over policies and let them know, is it a term policy, a whole life policy, verbal life policy, and to help them make the right decisions, because you can lose a lot of money or you can lose a lot of opportunity by not taking advantage of certain points in your policy.
Yeah.
So it's critical to sit down, and it's critical to if you have a business, you need to call bb&T and have Juliana Lopez come into your business and help you and help your employees, because your employees are going to be much more productive if they have that financial wellness program in place. So you have a financial wellness program. So I'm a business. I bring you in. How often should you come back and revisit?
We try to do it at least quarterly with a lot of our
really?
businesses. Yeah.
That is
and
amazing.
We'll even, bring in breakfast or lunch for the employees as well.
I don't see my breakfast here.
I have coffee for you.
Okay.
So yeah, and we travel. So, even if you're not in the downtown area, we're happy to go to your place of business. I've been in banking for 29 years.
Wow. Okay.
So, I've done every aspect in the banking industry. And so, regardless of what that particular person needs, I can help them, with
And the
it.
business owner.
Absolutely. So, especially business owners, so starting your business, growing your business, keeping your business successful, a succession plan, what happens to your business when something happens to you. And that's really important.
Yeah, I've done a lot of buy-sell agreements over the years. I mean, I'm not an attorney, so I don't write the buy-sell agreements, but you use insurance to fund it. And it's amazing how many businesses out there have it written in their documentation for their business that the succession plan, but they have no mechanism for funding it. So that's where we help businesses provide the funding for buy-sell. And so if any businesses out there, you need a partner, bb&T is here, not only in San Antonio, but across the United States. Is there any state that you're not in?
We're gradually moving over to the West Coast, but we
Okay.
don't have, any in California yet.
Okay. Well, we want you to stay
that's
here
my
anyway.
goal.
Okay. Us Texans are
Yeah, we're
wiser,
moving over
so
to
we
the
want-
West Coast, so
Are
we're
you? Okay.
pretty saturated on the East Coast.
okay. Great,
Yeah.
great. And you have lots of branches here in Texas. Juliana Lopez of bb&T Bank, thank you so much for being here
Thank you
today.
so much for having me.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you right after the break.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. French President Emmanuel Macron, along with President Trump, having a private lunch before the start of the Group of Seven summit in Biarritz, France. Macron says leaders are discussing a lot of crises around the world, including Libya, Iran, and Russia, as well as trade policy and climate change. Yesterday, President Trump escalating the trade war with China after China raised its tariffs. The president imposing a tariff of 15% on some $300 billion worth of Chinese goods. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she's not ready to launch impeachment proceedings against President Trump, even though a majority of her caucus on Capitol Hill seems to favor moving in that direction. Pelosi says the public is just not ready for it at this point. On Wall Street Friday, a big loss as the Dow was down 623 points, 25,629. The NASDAQ was down by 240. This is SRN News.
It is a horrible scenario, but it happens. Dennis writes about his wife. She was diagnosed with leukemia. In fact, she's a 2-time survivor. And in the midst of all that, they ran up over $1 million in medical bills. Thankfully, they're MediShare members. And Dennis says they are so thankful for that, how others came together to meet their needs. And that's how so many MediShare members feel. This is not health insurance. It's different. You don't have to pay for things you don't believe in. And like Dennis found out, it just works. So if you join MediShare, not only do you save a lot of money, the typical family saves about $500 a month, but you know where your money's going each month. You're helping people. And if the time should come, they'll be helping and even praying for you. So yes, it's different. And as more than 400,000 people now know when it comes to healthcare costs, different is beautiful. Find out more. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
Hi, this is Milton Glick. You know, we're lucky in South Texas. We can garden throughout the year. The key to good gardening is good information, and that's where we can help. This Saturday and Sunday, join Dr. Jerry Parsons and Dr. Calvin Finch from Millburgers Gardening, South Texas. Call in, or better yet, ask your question in person at Millburgers Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road. So, gather your questions and join us for Millburgers Gardening, South Texas, Saturdays and Sundays from noon to 2, only on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
The bride is radiant, the groom is nervous. They say, I do, and the preacher says, you may kiss the bride. The tears of joy flow. These are the moments you'll treasure forever. The artistry of David Pizzat photographers captures these moments in the most beautiful way possible. Right now, you can get David Pizzat's premier wedding package, valued at $5,500 for only $3,500 on the marketplace page at 930amtheanswer.com.
9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Welcome back to the James Duerr Show. I am James Duerr, your host of the 7 Steps to Financial Success. And today, is I always say if you're going to listen to any show on the radio or on a podcast, that is the James Duerr Show. You will receive a benefit. I guarantee you, every time you look at one of our videos, every time you listen to our podcast, you're going to gain critical financial information, and you need to take the time to listen to every one of our podcasts. And today we have a special guest. We have Miss Crystal Isaac with bb&T Bank.
Yes, good morning.
And we've been talking over the previous sectors, but there's probably people who've joined us new. But we've been talking about bb&T's financial wellness program. And that is so special to me because that's what the James Duerr Show is all about, is educating the American public on personal finances and educating the American businessman and businesswoman about how to create wealth through their business using the James Duerr 7 Steps. It applies not only to individuals but to businesses. So tell us a little bit about, for people who are just joining us, about bb&T Financial Wellness Program.
Absolutely. So our program has really evolved just within the past couple of years to be more than just offering, our banking solutions and products. It's really about the educational piece to that. So trying to see where we can add value to somebody's life, see how we can alleviate some of that financial stress that they may be going through. So we have everything from tools and resources, different seminar presentations I can conduct on certain particular topics, such as credit scores and reports, budgeting and savings, life insurance, Retirement 101, really get in depth with those things. Also offering them access to our website that have these modules that can be played from any mobile device or tablet or computer, things like that. So they're doing things on their own at their leisure. And we also encourage everybody to contact us personally or reach out to any one of our the 10 branches we have in San Antonio to set up a free personal financial review. And that's where we can go, we can sit down one-on-one, have an appointment with each other and really just go through, what's keeping you up at night regarding your finances, go through your budget, assist you with pulling a credit report and giving you really some help and guidance along the way with those things.
So this must be tremendously expensive to an individual to do that.
It's actually not, which is wonderful. It is absolutely a free benefit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Even whether they choose to bank with us or not, that is just our way of, really giving back to the community, seeing how we can add value to people's lives. And it does come full circle where we do say, look, if your previous bank isn't doing these things for you, you don't have a personal banker that takes the time to ask you some of these tough questions and try to put you on a path to alleviating that financial stress and achieving your financial goals. That's what makes bb&T different at the end of the day.
Because if you have employees that are financially stressed at work, they're missing work due to illness, they're missing work because they're not mentally engaged because they're worried about how they're going to make that next payment for their auto or whatever. So they need a financial service professional like bb&T Bank or like the James Duerr Show that will sit down with you and spend that short 1 hour to go over your financial future. So tell us about, I've always been looking for like stats on this. I've always talked to businesses, but I've never really had good statistics on what happens when you engage employees and how does financial wellness affect an employee. So tell us a little bit about the stats.
Yeah, absolutely. So PwC did a survey January of this year, and it's kind of an annual survey. This is the eighth year that they've been doing this, and it's just an employee financial wellness survey. And so they've really tracked financial and retirement well-being with U.S. adult citizens nationwide. So they really found a lot of great things. But their question was, what's driving employee financial stress? And the answer was repeatedly been cash flow, debt challenges that continue to plague employees, and they're really inhibiting their ability to save at the end of the day. Many employees are finding themselves stressed out about being able to meet even small unexpected expenses. Fewer employees are unable to meet basic expenses if they were out of work for an extended period of time. So that's really our low to middle class demographic here, which is the majority of San Antonio, really, that if they were out of work for a significant period of time, they would have trouble meeting those minimum needs.
And then they get stuck on getting credit card balances, and they get stuck
payday
with
loans,
payday loans
and all that. Very predatory.
And so you need to understand that no matter what income you have a friend here at the James Duerr Show and the bb&T Bank.
Absolutely.
You have somebody you can reach out. You don't have to go to these predatory lenders. You don't have to charge up your credit card. We were talking earlier about y'all doing signature loans. And so, everybody's individually unique, but I mean, y'all do offer these services to the public that will help these businesses be more productive. And that's what we want. San Antonio to be strong. We want the nation to be strong. We want Texas to be strong. And we need our businesses to be strong. And for our business to be strong, we have to have our individuals financially strong.
Absolutely. It's just about empowering the employer to offer these types of services or added benefits in it, and then empowering the individual as well to know that they have options out there. And I think people make these decisions because it's a knee-jerk reaction or they're in a bind and they need something quick and immediate. And so really it's just about education and being knowledgeable of that beforehand to know, okay, if something happens and I'm in a bind, where is my go-to? Is it to call in? I need to ask somebody for help. Is it to go to bb&T? Whatever works for your personal situation, but try not to go to some of these predatory options.
Right. So bb&T is you can just find it online at bb&t.
bb&t.com. Yes, sir.
And you can walk into any branches, I understand, about this financial wellness program.
Correct.
And
absolutely.
And pretty much everybody knows about it in the bank.
Absolutely. So everybody in our branches, everybody from the tellers, bankers, and management is all certified to be able to conduct these presentations along with my help. And everybody can be helpful.
Okay.
With that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the 7 steps, and I want your input on the 7 steps of. We want to be clear to the American public and let them know, all about the 7 steps of financial success. So, step 1 is term insurance, and the main reason you have term insurance is to pay your current debts if you would pass. To pay future debts like child care. A lot of people don't think about child care, and they're paying every month, and it actually in a lot of cases is more expensive than college because of the number of years that you pay for child care. And then you also have income replacement. So I always talk about having a money machine in your garage. And if you have a money machine in your garage and it's spitting out $75,000 a year every year, what would you do? You would insure that machine, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't you insure yourself to have that income replacement? So term insurance is your family safety net, and that's step 1. And then I practice what I preach. And I purchased exactly 2 years and 10 days ago at age 56, I purchased $1 million term policy.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, but why did I do that? Because smart people leverage their money. So I wanted to make sure that if I would pass away, the ranch would be paid off, the house would be paid completely.
All of your debts and responsibilities would be taken care of. Right.
Because why would you have your family grieving for you and also put the burden of having financial debts? So you wanted to take responsibility. You want to make sure you have enough. So you always want to have that safety net. I don't care what age you are, you want to have that. But the main reason I do term policy is for conversion purposes. And if our listeners don't know what that is when you can take a term policy and turn that liability into an asset. And you actually can grow tax-free cash with a cash value policy. And once you get your health approved, then that same health is used later on in life. You don't have to go back and get lab work.
Wonderful.
So it's a great tool. You do every year you wait. Does cost a little bit more, but your health is locked in. So when you're young and healthy, get as much term insurance as you can. Right. So as soon as I got my $1 million policy, I converted $100,000 to cash value life insurance because I want to have cash that is creditor protected in the great state of Texas. I want to have cash that I can pull out for any reason.
Correct.
In fact, I had another cash value life insurance policy, and that's how I started this program.
Wow.
I did a loan, and not a lot of people don't understand how to take cash out free, but my financial professionals understand how to do it, and that's how I started this program.
Right.
So I turned that liability into an asset, and I still have $900,000 of benefit. So, but the difference that I want to do a benefit, a takeaway that my listeners can understand that when you do a term policy, you're it's like renting a house. You only get a certain amount of insurance every month for the rest of whatever the 10-year period, 20-year period. Your death benefit doesn't increase any. When you do a cash value life insurance policy, it's like owning your house, and your house increases in equity. A cash value life insurance policy increases not only the cash but the death benefit. So both of them are rising, and a term policy is not. But you still want to have a term policy because it's incredibly inexpensive.
Correct.
And if anybody would like to meet with one of my professionals, you can just go to the James Duerr website, JamesDuerr.com website, and reach out to us, and we'll sit down with you about a term life policy that you can later convert to a whole life policy. So I'm only paying $161 a month.
Wow.
For $900,000 of benefit. So that's what we talk
fantastic.
about, leveraging your money. So I want to leverage my money, and also I want to be able to have the ability even to convert more of it later to a cash value life insurance policy. So after the break, we're going to talk about why I still have that policy.
Okay.
Even though my debt is pretty much almost eliminated.
Right.
But I'll tell you why I got that policy after the break. And if they want to contact bb&T, what's the best way for them to contact you?
bb&t.com is a great resource. Everybody can also contact me at my office phone at 210-306-2363.
Perfect. We'll see you after the break.
Thank you.
Looking for your new home? Realty One Group Emerald is your one stop. We are the ones to get you out of your old house and into the new one. Our experienced local real estate agents will simplify the entire process of buying and selling your home. Find your home today at Realty One Group at ROGEmerald.com. 210-405-4326.
You want to share that? This is James Duerr, the James Duerr Show, and I have Crystal Isaac with bb&T Bank, and we were talking about the necessity of having insurance for your family. And would you like to share a little bit about
Yeah, absolutely.
your personal interest?
I was just telling you on the break, I love that you touched on life insurance and the different types of policies, whole versus term, and how that's worked for you and your personal situation. But earlier this year in February, we lost my grandmother, which was, she was the matriarch of the family. She was the only grandparent that we ever had, that I've ever known, excuse me. And so it's such a difficult grieving process. But we knew ahead of time that she had prepaid for her funeral and kind of locked in that cost. And I wasn't aware that you can start doing that now, really at any age. And so it locks in those costs of whatever those arrangements are. And so she did that back in 2001. And since then, the funeral expenses have just gone tragically up at this point, and they're just going to keep continuing to go up.
Right.
But there was one line item on there, that one particular service that cost her $75. And when I looked over to what the current cost of that was, it was almost $300.
Wow.
So the 2000 wasn't that long ago. And just to see how much that had changed, and there was a small amount remaining balance that was left over, that between myself and my parents we would be able to cover that. But we did find a life insurance policy that she had, a very small one of $5,000, and that was perfect because that's all that my grandmother didn't have a lot of debt or anything like that. She's a very simple woman, lived on the the west side of San Antonio, but that small policy was able to cover the remainder of those funeral expenses, and then a little bit was left over that's going to go to taking care of the house.
Yeah. So when you love your family, like your grandmother, she takes care of herself.
Right.
So she's not a burden.
Right.
And she wasn't a burden any time in life. I'm sure she sounded like a wonderful woman.
Yes.
And even in death, she took care of everybody by having that in place. And when you have that in place, the funeral home can even take that insurance policy and they can actually do all the legwork for you.
They did. It was a very
Yeah.
small percentage fee, which her policy wasn't very much. So it wasn't much of a fee. I think it was maybe 3 or 5%.
Right.
If somebody has a larger policy, that can definitely add up. But, by my grandmother even prepaying for her funeral and then having that policy going into the funeral home already was as difficult as it was. But she had selected everything beforehand. And then finding this policy, we just handed it over to them. So it allowed us to just, be there for each other as a family and not stress about the money part of things.
I really appreciate you sharing that because I know it's difficult to talk about. And anybody out there, they need to call bb&T Bank. They need to call the James Duerr Show. You need to take steps today. Don't put the burden on your loved ones later. You need to do it so we were talking before the policy about at age 56, 2 years, 10 months, 10 days ago, 2 years, 10 days ago, I got $1 million policy. I converted 100,000 to whole life. I still have 900,000. So I actually had my annual statement came in, and I was looking at it, and I was $161 a month. Do I really need that much insurance? I'm healthy. Do I really need it? It's $161 a month. I can do other things with that. But I looked over it and I said, yeah, of course I'm not going to cancel it. Right. I mean, it's such a great deal. It's such a leveraging of money. So obviously I didn't cancel the policy, but other people out there, they are canceling their policies and they're not taking care of their loved ones. So, and I'll share a personal experience that, I always tell my listeners, you're one doctor's visit away from not being insurable. So you need to insure yourself when you're young and healthy.
Correct. And
so I urge everybody to go to jamesduerr.com and send us a message, meet with one of my financial service professionals, and let's look at your unique insurance number. Let's make sure that you may already have a policy, but that policy may not be enough. You're talking about funeral expenses going from $75 for a certain line item to like $300.
Correct.
Or more. So you need to make sure that you're up to date on your unique insurance number, and we'll show you how to calculate that at the James Duerr Show. But you do want to get insurance when you're young and healthy, and you want to convert as much as you can afford. You always want insurance to kind of hurt a little bit. You want to get as much insurance as you can afford, but you don't want to ever get any more than you can afford. So it's always like what you can afford out of your cash flow. That's what you want to put into it. You never want to, get more than you can afford because you don't want to go and cancel a policy later. So it brings me to myself. My wife says everything's about me. I actually went to my doctor a week ago.
Okay.
And
clean bill of health, hopefully?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's the first time I've ever had not a perfect health, back. So I had some levels on my prostate that was elevated. So he put me on some medicine, going to do some tests. There's something that he found he didn't like. So it's nothing critical. I'm not going back there for another month, but it was a wake-up call for me. And I need to make sure I need to share this with my listeners because I've always been blessed. I've never had any health problems. But now, like many men, they need to watch their prostate conditions. They need to go to their doctor regular. So I'm going to my doctor more regular than I would back when I was younger. But I'm so grateful that I didn't cancel my insurance. I'm not going to need it, I don't think. But it's there because you never know what's going to happen. So don't put off going to your financial professional. Don't put off contacting your insurance agent, or if you don't have one, you call bb&T Bank, you can call the James Duerr Show, but you need to have somebody and you need to be insurable. And you know what? I may not be as insurable now as I was a week ago because the insurance agencies, they all know your medical histories and all that. So, but since I already have my $900,000 of term insurance and I already have my $100,000 of the cash policy, I don't really need to get another policy. So I'm set. But if I try to get that, tomorrow, I may get denied.
Right.
So when you're young and healthy, you need to get insurance. So that's what I want to talk about. So I'm fortunate to have that. So we talked a little bit about cash value life insurance. I do want to talk a little bit more about the 7 steps. So we're all talking about safe money. We're talking about term insurance for a safety net. We're talking about cash value life insurance to build tax-free cash. And I love using cash value life insurance for college. I like having like a 529 that you take advantage of the market, and also a cash value life insurance policy. So if you don't need that cash, you can use it not for college, but maybe you can use it for your retirement. So you always want to have both like a 529 and a cash value life insurance policy. So step 3 of the James Duerr 7 steps is income annuity. And everybody always says, and we were talking about surveys earlier, and I talked about surveys before. People who have guaranteed lifetime income are so much more comforted in their life and in their retirement, because Social Security is one thing they have. We don't know for the millennials if it's going to still be around.
Right.
So you need to take charge of your life, and you need to create your own pension. And a pension is an annuity. I mean, that's all it is. So, but you can create your own personal pension. And James Duerr Show, we can show you how to do that. And you can start it when you're young, and you'll be the smartest kid on the block when you have a pension. And your colleague asks you, well, how'd you get a pension? You work for the same company I did. Right. Well, that's because I contacted the James Duerr Show, and yes. And they set me up on an income annuity. So you want to have that safe money. After you have that safe money, step 4 is the stock market. Now, the stock market has been crazy lately, and there's a lot of emotion, and it's all trading on emotion. And there's a lot of factors in the world going on right now that's affecting the market. But you need to have a professional sit down with you. And you were talking about 101, for talking about the 101 class for stock market and for retirement. So you need to have a professional you work with. But you need to be in the stock market. Don't be scared of it, but you need to be smart about it. And right now is a great time to take some of your gains out of the market and put it into income annuity, because, as I say, pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. So pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered.
I like
so
that.
The stock market's still up, so take some of those gains. Step 5 of the James Duerr Show, and that's something that you can help them with. And then we have they can help get a mortgage with bb&T, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we have excellent sponsors in the James Duerr Show. We have Realty One Group, Emerald, and Forefront Property Management. They can get the real estate, they can get the property management, and they can go to bb&T to get their loan.
Correct.
So you want to have what I try to have my clients have from anywhere from 5 to 30% of all their total assets. By the time they retire, they should have that much in real estate. So step 5 is real estate in the James Duerr 7 steps. And step 6 is long-term care insurance. Because why work your entire life and then you would have a long-term care event and all the money you've saved over the years goes to your care and nothing left for your spouse. So you need to have long-term care, both you and your spouse. And so you're not a burden on anybody. And you want to get that when you're young. You want to get that, at least get it in your 50s, early 50s, if not 40s or even late 30s. So once you do all 7 steps, step 7 is enjoy life. So we want you to enjoy life. We want people to take advantage of the resources out there, the bb&T financial wellness program, that once you have the steps in place, then you can enjoy life because you're not stressing.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about, is any particular, without mentioning names, is there any particular clients that you've done this for that comes to mind?
Absolutely. I know Juliana previously mentioned, the San Antonio Zoo. She's worked really well with an organization downtown called Block by Block.
Okay.
Those are the amazing men and women of San Antonio that wear like those yellow shirts that are cleaning up our streets or making sure that everything is very clean, or giving directions and things like that. So we've really been able to help people, to help them in their particular point of life and really help them achieve achieve their personal dream of owning their next vehicle, even purchasing their first home, which they never thought would have been possible. So those are the types of things that we enjoy doing that makes it all worth it. But I did want to leave a website that I want to invite everybody to check out, and it's www.bb&T.com/@work-wellness. And on this particular website, you're going to find all the tools and resources available to give you additional information on many of the topics you discussed, some of the things that I discussed as well, ways to contact us as well, and of course, letting them know about all the great things and products and services we have at bb&T.
So if you need that website again, you can go to the jamesduerr.com, and it will be on the podcast. It'll be on Facebook. We're on Facebook Live. Please like it. And you can replay it on Facebook Live. You can replay the podcast in your car. We have all those resources on Facebook. We have all those resources at the James Duerr Show, which is JamesDuerr.com. God bless, and thank bb&T for being here today.
Thank you.
This is Lance Hobbs. Join me this Sunday evening from 8 to 10 for The God, Family...